Welcome to the Shirts and Skins podcast. We are your hosts, Tori, Devin, Josh, and we had to play the Michigan State fight song for two reasons. Because last week, Michigan State beat our guy and his team, his Blue, his Wolverines. They beat them, they took them down, and then Josh decided to cut the whole podcast off, nuke the entire hour and a half, so that way we couldn't bring it to you live. And so now, well, hell, Josh, Michigan decides to win, and Michigan State goes down. So let's talk about...
blows it, lays an egg. Like, come on, Michigan State. If you're going to beat us, carry it on all the way through to the Big Ten championship at least.
This should have been a phenomenal podcast where we could have just played it through and said Michigan State just jumped into the top 5 because they beat Michigan. They were ranked 6, another 8. And now here we are.
Sabotage all the way around. Yep, sabotage all the way around. Now no one in the Big Ten is going to make it. I'm pretty sure Big 12 is going to mess it up this week. Bunch of upsets. And go Purdue.
I'm hoping Purdue does it again. Purdue's beat Iowa whenever they were ranked.
That's what Purdue's been doing all season.
Yeah.
They beat Iowa. There were 2, I think, at the time.
Yeah, number 2.
And then they beat Michigan State.
Number 3.
And let's take out Ohio State.
At number 4.
Let's do it. Let's take them out.
Please make it happen, Purdue.
I really hope Ohio State lays down on this one. Looks forward to the playoffs because they're in the top 4. I really
get all excited. Like,
I was super pumped for Michigan State doing something.
Unless Alabama
Purdue's...
loses, and then I really hope Ohio State just keeps pushing forward. As a Georgia fan, I really need Alabama out of that top 4 ASAP. ASAP.
I still think no matter what, you'd still have to
Georgia's going to get their chance.
Yeah.
To take them out of the playoff.
Yeah. So it's going to be
I don't want the chance. I really don't want the chance. That's the one.
I don't blame you. But the way LSU came out, just watch that. Just watch that footage.
Look at that game tape.
Yeah.
Look at Florida.
Hard, running,
Look at LSU.
Line. Yeah. And
had them. I mean, all 3 teams had them.
So they do what Georgia does, but Georgia does it better.
Well, they do exactly what Texas A&M does, and
better.
They play defense better than Texas
That's
A&M.
What I'm saying. So the teams that either gave them a hard game or beat them,
right,
do the same thing Georgia does. Georgia does a lot better.
Basically, do the exact opposite of what the Hurricanes did week 1, and you're solid. If you play defense and you don't try to play score for score with Alabama, you're really in the game.
Like I was saying, what I'm really looking forward to is Georgia is giving to Nick Saban what Nick Saban has always had, and that's a tremendously stout NFL caliber defense on the line in the secondary, and then they win based on whatever quarterback that they end up having, more or less. But it's basically off the back of the defense.
Chemistry, coaching, athletes, big, strong.
That's why I'm just going to spend like maybe 1 minute on this. That's really why I'm looking forward to Georgia playing Tennessee. It's a well-known program, but also they're either catching us at the right time because they're super hot right now,
right,
or we're catching them at the right time because I really want to see how Georgia responds to an air attack, because we have not faced an air attack. I really do hope that we're down like 14-3.
The thing is,
because
Georgia has
see
to
how
make
we
sure
can respond to that.
They don't overlook anyone.
Exactly.
Like, that's the biggest thing. At this point, you cannot overlook any team.
The last ranked team that the Volunteers played, they had 2 70-yard TDs in the air. Bombs. And also a 40-yard TD in the air bomb. And if I'm not incorrect, fact check me, please. But I believe the quarterback was 15 of 20 with 3 TDs. Those are the 3 TDs. All through the air, in the end zone, 40, 70, 70. I really am looking
found that out.
To us
Those are called
that type of air offense.
Those are called dimes.
Dimes!
Yeah, because Danny Dimes
Danny into this.
threw his 10th dime pass, and I guess it's 30 or 40 yards equals a dime pass. Danny Dimes. I just found that out.
We don't talk about Danny Dimes. What other...
As you were saying, Georgia's secondary cannot lose sight of these receivers because the quarterback actually just might find them.
It's all about that D-line. You got to make sure you get pressure. If you can get pressure with just the front 4, that way you can drop that secondary back and make sure they don't get behind you.
Exactly.
I don't know if you want to go down 14-3, though.
No, I really do.
I mean...
No, I don't, because I want to win the game.
Right.
But I really do, because I want to see if our quarterback, walk-on Stetson Bennett, can actually
create the offense to be able to.
Yes.
I see what you're saying there.
Exactly. I want to see if our running backs.
But do you really want to see that
offensive line? I guess what I'm trying to say is that
Tennessee's not good enough to win the game.
No, they're not. But I think our biggest game was against Clemson, and our biggest play.
And Clemson's not that good,
as we've seen.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, that actually facilitates my point. And I think our biggest play of this entire game, offense or defense, was the pick 6 that we had on Clemson. And that was major. That put us up. That actually won us the game because our offense couldn't do anything other than kick a field goal. And we needed that. And that was week 1.
And I've seen some bad ACC teams put up way more than 9 points on Clemson.
You. And the Volunteers are putting up a lot of points these last few weeks. And so I really want to see if, and again, if we lose, we're probably not dropping out of the top 4.
Well, I mean, I would drop you out of the top 4.
Yeah, but they wouldn't. No. But what I'm saying is, I really don't know how good we are until I see us actually test our mettle. And I want to see that.
Florida just proved that they're
or
not that
we
good.
Just beat the living hell out of them, and it's like 41-3, and it's like, hey, maybe we're just that good. Maybe we're just that good.
What I find crazy is they have Georgia and Ohio State both favored by 20, and Ohio State plays Purdue, who, like we just said, knocked off 2 top 4 ranked teams. You're playing the Vols, who. Yeah, they're on a little roll, whatever. They've won a couple games.
What a hot streak that offense is, for sure. The offense.
How are they both favored by 20?
Right. You would think Georgia would be ranked, favored more than that?
Maybe 24.5, and then Ohio State, Purdue, maybe 2 touchdowns.
It's because we were favored by 39 last week, and we only won by 37. And,
blew it.
We totally blew it. That's on us. That's on the Bulldogs. That's
those guys that make those lines tend to know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They're pretty good at that.
Under.
Yeah.
You would have won a little bit of change.
I know betting the over cost me money, so should have bet the under.
We'll get to that. All right, fellas. Before we jump over to the NFL, before we move on, we do have Michigan State losing to Purdue. If we want to spend any more time on that. We also have Oklahoma and Baylor. Anybody want to talk about that real quick?
Oklahoma, Baylor. Baylor needs this win. If Baylor wins against Oklahoma,
both teams need it, but Oklahoma really, really needs it.
If Baylor loses
Baylor just took a loss, but are they not dangerous?
If Oklahoma loses this, Big 12's damn near done.
If Oklahoma loses this, they're out of the playoffs, period.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to get back in.
This might be the setup to where
that puts
Baylor
Cincinnati in
because they're looking ahead to Oklahoma, and then they take down Oklahoma.
Right.
But and then Cincinnati's been in these close games too.
That would be wild.
Against Tulsa, Tulane,
Navy.
Teams that should be beating soundly.
Unranked teams that they should be beating soundly.
It's just one of those things. Are they playing down to their opponent? Would they show up to a bigger game? I don't know. But
the only win they have on the year is against Notre Dame.
I can tell you right now, Utah just mopped the floor with Stanford, and Oregon lost to Stanford. And Stanford has Oregon has the win over Ohio State. They would have to win out. They have to win out. Oregon would have to win out. Big 12, Michigan or Ohio State, Michigan State, they have to figure out something in there between them. And then you have to see Wisconsin, who's getting hot, more or less because Minnesota just lost. So I'm thinking you're going to have to see Wisconsin, and then we'll see how the Big Ten focuses up. Or who knows what craziness could happen with Purdue and Penn State and Michigan.
So
you know
what I mean? Michigan,
a
huge game right there. This is a game Michigan really needs.
And the ACC just knocked us out because our only
Wake
hope.
Forest, the only undefeated ACC guy, just fell apart.
Yeah, they wanted to lose.
Not that they were going to make it to the
playoffs. Damn you, Wake Forest!
Yeah. So
bad. It was 100 points.
It was 105, 110.
Nearly 100 points drop between the two, and Wake Forest, number 10, just couldn't pull that off.
Dude, they were up by 14 or 18 or something in the fourth. And then it just lost it, ruined everything for the ACC.
We're about to transition to the NFL. But let me put this to you guys, because before we get to the NFL, we have a few teams that are they tanking? Are they flirting with tanking? Are they kind of figuring out what they have? A lot of these teams do need a quarterback. Direly. after what you've seen with the NCAA, there's not a whole lot of defensive pass interferences. Not a lot of quarterbacks are throwing downfield. And out of all of this crazy turnover, and we keep checking our phones, for those of you that are viewing, because we want to see if the rankings come out while we're doing this podcast for the NCAA. We do want to talk on that if they do. Is there a quarterback class in this group like that you trust that, like, hey, this guy from this team is going to be one of the guys of the last 2 years? Because right now, it's pretty in the air. It's pretty murky.
The thing this year, it's not the big schools that have the names. It's the smaller schools that are having the bigger names talked about. Like right now, I don't think there is a quarterback in a power conference that they're predicting to be the guy.
The only guy that they're talking about is that has any kind of hype is Corral from Ole Miss.
Right.
Then, like, I was telling the people at work that actually the Steelers were just at the Liberty Ole Miss game because the Liberty quarterback, Willis or something like that, he also has some hype that they're talking about, but he wet the bet against Ole Miss. So now that you play a team, who are you really? You know what I mean?
That's how I feel that the quarterback class this particular year
But this past year was super hyped, and I mean, somebody on there, someone says they're all bust. I don't agree with that, but
I don't agree with that either. But somebody did.
One of those rookies are on that said person's team.
Well, he hasn't really played
a believer,
much.
And it is what it is.
Oh, you weren't talking 49ers and Trey Lance.
No.
Who hasn't really seen the field much?
So if you can't, you're talking about Jimmy G. That's a problem.
Okay. All right.
That's a problem. A bunch of those quarterbacks are starters, but that don't mean nothing to me. We seen a 2-year walk on or walk off in White steal Wilson's job, and he's a starter. We got Mac Jones, game manager. Pretty
good though.
Game manager,
pretty good.
Love the hate.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? Lawrence,
the best looking one out of all of them.
Real solid 9 points he got there. You know what I mean?
Beat the Bills, didn't he?
We beat the Bills. We beat the Bills.
Hey, no, that's not saying much.
Yeah.
Not saying much. They're supposed to contend for the AFC.
Yeah, well, the Steelers beat them, so they suck.
The Jets beat the Titans, and they're the number 1 ranked team right now.
All right. Let's jump on over to the NFL. Let's do that with you real quick. It doesn't seem on our slate that we're really talking about the 49ers. So I want to bring up just a quick conversation about them. How do you feel about the offensive, I don't want to say guru, that we've thrown that around a lot. But the next offensive genius, the next quarterback whisperer, the next, we'll say it, offensive guru in Kyle Shanahan. Let me throw out a quick stat to you so that way we can all process this. He has the same winning record as Chip Kelly. Another offensive guru, another offensive genius. Lasted 3 years? In,
if that.
Out,
yeah.
If that. About a 44% win record. And that's even with Shanahan's almost ridiculous Super Bowl run. If you take out the 2 best seasons of those guys, Chip Kelly actually has a better winning record. So where are we at with this guy who, now let me real quick say this. This is why I feel like every front office needs to have a guy. You're in San Francisco. You're in California. Have a guy in New York. Have a guy in Florida. Hey! Have a guy in Maryland that here's what we're going to do. Just have a guy so far out of your spectrum that's like, hey, instead of doing this, because again, the 49ers, they stole all these draft picks from the Bears. What'd they do? Not a whole lot. A lot of those guys that they wasted those draft picks on, not on the team anymore.
Not to cut you off there real quick. Did you see what the Raiders did with all their draft picks?
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Let's get to that in a minute. Now, so where'd the 49ers go? They also miss on the same quarterbacks. Now they're in a situation where they can get, and the reports, this isn't me, the reports came out, you can get Mac Jones, you can get Trey Lance, you can get Justin Fields. The reports were, doesn't matter. We're just going to take who's there and we're going to be fine. All right. So instead of getting Mac Jones, who they could have had, and then called Bill Belichick and said, hey, you want your boy Garoppolo back? Give us a 5th rounder, a 4th, a 3rd, a 2nd. What will you give? We'll just ship on out to you. Instead, they give up 2 first rounders. They get up Trey Lance. They keep Garoppolo. Trey Lance isn't playing. And now they're in the situation where they're at, and they're not a contender for a Super Bowl, and they're probably moving on from Garoppolo, and Trey Lance looks super raw. I'm not saying he's not going to be good, but does he not look very raw, especially when, hey, doesn't matter what quarterback we get. We're just going to get one, and we'll be fine. Your thoughts? Long-winded, but your thoughts.
So they looked at as far as, you got to look at the record that you're referring to. Let's start there.
Let's do it.
The most injuries, it seems like, of any team they've had. Their running back for 2 years in a row has been destroyed, their running back room. Mm-hmm. Their defense also hurt.
Yeah, their secondary's trash.
Again, 2 years in a row.
Before the game even started.
You know what would help that out? First-round picks.
You're absolutely right. But on paper, a healthy 49ers team is a good team.
But is Garoppolo ever healthy?
Garoppolo is the question in this. But going into this draft, there was a lot of hype about Trey Lance. Mm-hmm. He is raw, but that's the way.
Going into this season, Ayuk wasn't hurt. Kittle was there, missed the last 3-4 games. Kittle comes back. Kittle goes for 100 yards. Kittle's a big game changer. Running backs aren't there.
Big.
Yeah. Running backs aren't there. You think you're going to have this running back. Now you got hurt. Look at the Ravens. The Ravens still don't know what they're doing. And they lost all the running backs. And they're still trying to. Now they just got their wider games.
Even if they're down 10.
Yeah.
They're 3-0 if they're down 10, which, 2 years ago? They're 0-6 if they're down 10. They're finding a way.
But see, they got Bateman back, their draft pick. Bateman, they're wide out, and he's.
I thought Lamar couldn't throw.
So Lamar's a better. Lamar's
but
a better
he's getting the third downs. He's getting them third downs. He can do them 10-yard passes.
Quarterback than a running back?
Then Jimmy G. Jimmy G's trash.
Ask Odell if he wants to be a Raven.
So
yeah, I didn't hear that talk.
Yeah, I didn't hear Odell want to go to the Ravens, and the Ravens are a contender, right?
Why keep him? Why not give it to the most obvious situation where it's like,
because
hey,
you know,
Belichick, you like this guy, right? Crap,
but like you said,
this guy.
Trey Lance is very raw. Everyone knew coming in that he was raw because he didn't get a lot of playing time. He played 1 year, and then he had one game. So but everyone talks about his arm talent. He is the new age quarterback because he has the arm and the mobility, and that's what today's game is. You want a quarterback that can run and throw.
Look at Hoyer. Look at Brissett. Look at Garoppolo.
Backups.
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G is the mentor. You bring him, give Trey Lance 1 year to sit the bench to kind of learn, to be able to progress because you know he's such a raw talent. You don't want to completely waste what your team should be. Therefore, you keep Jimmy G for that 1 year. Let Trey Lance not get destroyed his first year. Now, next year, you bring him in as your starter. You hope to have a healthier team. Next year, they should be better. Going into this year...
The 49ers never have a healthier team.
Going into this year, everyone expected them to be better than what they are right now.
I didn't.
You were one of the few. Everybody was saying they're going to be a contender for that division, not being where they are.
Which they're not bad. Like let me not aggregate that. They're not bad. They are contender. You cannot overlook the 49ers when they come to Chicago. You can't overlook them when you have to face them. Don't get me wrong. The whole point was basically like, where are we at with this head coach who's been here for a certain amount of years, who's been given a full reign on who he wants, when he wants them. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's jump back into last week. All right, fellas. Cleveland, Cincinnati. I really feel as I went home, after I picked Cleveland, I went to bed. I was very upset with myself. Because I was like, what was I thinking? Picking them over Cincinnati. And then they pulled it off. And I was validated, and I felt great. What were your thoughts on that, given that Cleveland won that game? What were your thoughts? Devin, let's start with you. You haven't talked too much.
So, how this season has gone, this is exactly how this should have went. Cincinnati just
not there yet.
wrecks the Ravens.
Yep.
So then that only means that the Browns beat the Bengals, and not just beat them.
It only makes sense.
Wrecks them.
Yeah.
Because the Bengals beat the Steelers, who beat the Browns. So all of this all makes sense, because what I've watched in football is if it doesn't make sense, then it's exactly what's going to happen, because that's why the Bills lost to the Jaguars. That is because the Broncos beat the Dallas Cowboys, who got Dak back. You should have just
Shut him out!
You should have just put Rush.
Let's go!
You should have just put Rush in there.
Hey, who needs Von Miller?
Bro, you don't need Von Miller.
Get him out of here.
You don't even
He
need
goes
Von
to the
Miller.
Rams, and the
Don't
Rams
buy-
take a L.
Listen.
Don't buy the
I'm
hype.
not buying it.
Listen, it wasn't even in Denver.
I'm
It
not
was
gonna
in
buy.
Dallas. They went to Dallas.
Well, bro, Denver fans were out there.
Listen, you know who wasn't out there? Them boys, because they didn't even show up. The Giants. They beat the Raiders, throwing them Danny Dimes. That's what I was trying to tell you guys.
Let's circle back to the Danny Dimes.
Because he didn't want to talk about it, but
Lazar.
we're going to talk about it because he got his 10th dime, which 10 dimes, my number, dimes. You know, how does that feel, Josh? How does that feel?
He's been waiting.
Been waiting.
5 minutes for this.
I have also been waiting to tell you guys.
Tell the camera.
Football in general, how it works out is the Bears beat the Raiders beat the Steelers, and the Steelers beat the Bears, and we're back to where we need to be.
You're talking about beating bad teams.
Listen.
You're in the cake of your schedule.
Are you talking about a 4-0 right now? Is that what you're talking
You're
about?
talking about the cake of your schedule. You're about to get in the meat, and this is where you'll start to come back down.
Are you
to
talking
earth
about
again.
the Chiefs beating Green Bay with love, or are we talking about us going out there beating a number one draft pick in Fields? Right? They're not
A
bust. They're not bust, right?
Per you, a bust.
Easy.
So are they bust or are they not bust?
The Zebras didn't come out, Chicago would have won.
If you don't
know that.
listen,
you know a lot about
listen.
zebras and stepping in front of people. And your
If you
coaches
line
and-
up offsides, they're going to
Which it
throw a
wasn't.
flag.
but it wasn't.
Which time? The 10th time or the 11th time?
Definitely the 11th time it wasn't. When the game mattered, that's when it wasn't.
I'm just trying to figure out. So when you're on the field and you're taunting or not taunting,
Oh no, but
Or-
definitely
Not.
jump in the end zone 20 yards past the interception and do a rowboat. That's not taunting. You're not going to get a
Did I
flag
do it?
for
Did I
that.
do it?
Celebrating.
Yeah, that's celebrating.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
It is
celebrating.
different. It is different.
No, taunting.
Taunting.
I'm not directing my celebration towards the other team to
No,
cause
you were
conflict.
celebrating against us.
Not in front of you guys, not taunting you guys, not in front of you guys, not showing you guys, hey, we're
It
better
wasn't
than
showing
you.
any aggression.
I
towards your
wasn't
team.
showing
I'm being a
aggression.
jackweed.
Yeah, aggression
completely
or
get what you're
conflict towards the other
I get
team.
it.
But what he
Basically,
did wasn't
instigating a problem.
Bro, what he did was so
Don't
minor.
start nothing, won't be nothing. We drop Marsh because his character and his lack of judgment on the field showcases right there.
I feel like it should have been
Bro.
a rhyme, and you completely missed it.
That's what but we got the W.
I thought you
Rhyme
were
that.
dropping bars.
Can't get that back.
That's what it comes down to. You can't put it
Winning.
in the ref's hands.
Winning.
You
The
absolutely.
Giants
But-
lost it. The Steelers won it.
But-
Now,
Don't be surprised if we lose to the Lions next week. Don't be surprised. I didn't take them, but I wouldn't be surprised. Would you not be surprised if we lost to the Lions?
no, because given the last 2 weeks, the underdog
Well, dude, the underdog's been on fire.
for the last 2 weeks have won 8 times each.
But don't bank on it this week because this will be the week that it comes back to normal.
Right.
Now
Things
again,
get right.
Maybe this has something to do with an extra game. And
Now there's going to be
everyone's-
one underdog
their
who
schedule
wins.
is a certain thing, and so we're adding an extra
Yeah.
like feel out. We're tired, they're tired. Our bye week's coming up. We just kept whatever it is. I'm not selling all my stock on what happened the last 2 weeks, but the last
If you can't
2
afford,
weeks
if you can't
have been
afford to lose your Black
insane.
Friday money, don't bet it this weekend because I don't know where it's going to go. We could keep this underdog streak going.
I
It
just
could
don't see it
change
happen.
tides. I really thought the Chiefs were going to be some. I thought the Bills were going to be some, but they proved me
Thank you for saying
wrong.
that. Because in the midst of all of this, even after, so we made our picks for Chiefs Green Bay.
Yep.
I went Green Bay. You Chiefs?
Honestly, man, I don't recall. I feel like
Yeah.
I went Chiefs with.
I know I picked the Chiefs.
There we go. Congrats, fellas. There was a moment once I saw that Aaron Rodgers wasn't playing, I started doing the math. And I was like, you know what?
You didn't love it?
Up top. Down low. That was excellent. No, I was like, all right, these underdogs keep winning. 2 weeks in a row, they keep winning.
Right, Green Bay's going to win.
And then
this.
at the same time, hold on, here's the deal is what better game for Matt LaFleur to tell Aaron Rodgers, I don't need you. Jordan Love, I've been waiting in the wing. I can lead this offense.
Anytime Love has got
I can lead this team.
Yeah.
The entire Green Bay staff, look, man, you've been doing your thing for like 3 years. You know, you've been like off and saying this and doing that and like, I want to move on and I don't need you. And what better game than for Green Bay to stick it to KC for Aaron Rodgers to come back and be like, look, again, you don't think we're that good, but look what we just did. I think I almost did it, but Jordan Love looked terrible.
And then that's
Green
why
Bay
Aaron
lost.
Rodgers is sitting there like, I told you should have got
And
a
Aaron
wide
Rodgers
out.
was like, I told you so.
Should have got a wide out.
Like now, if he doesn't
I'm
get
actually really
OBJ,
mad about that game.
Yeah.
if he doesn't get OBJ, does he sit out another week?
Because there was a moment.
He's playing. He's playing.
There was a moment where it could have happened. There's a universe in which Jordan Love flips a 40-yard pass and it's caught, and you know it actually isn't 20 yards over Devontae Adams' head, or I'm sorry, underthrown 20 yards.
I feel like if I was him, I would have like tried to use my legs more or something because like obviously the throwing the ball was not working.
The whole game, it was right there for him.
But I feel like they missed.
It's not like Mahomes did much better.
They missed the opportunity though to put Dillon and Green in the backfield and run like a dual running back and just they should have. There's something that they missed and so Love's not the answer.
No, and
Aaron Rodgers
was
like one full game. Yeah.
told you.
Yeah.
I'll be back next week.
Yeah.
I'll save the day. Oh man, they almost had it.
His importance is definitely there, and
his
he's
stock
still gone.
just shot up.
Yeah,
for
he's
him.
still gone. He's still gone.
I think so too.
All right,
But where we started all this off, let's circle back because we just went down a deep rabbit hole there.
we
talking
covered
about
a lot.
we were talking about Cincinnati and Cleveland. Like I feel like that was kind of a big deal.
Oh yeah, Cleveland won. I called it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, they have more experience.
Bengals
It meant more
but
for them.
the Bengals-
Ohio teams are who we thought they were. Nothing.
Bengals going into that game were the hottest team.
Were they? Because they lost to the Jets.
That's true. But still going into that, I don't think people were like,
It was the game that they needed to make in order to say, "Hey, we're here right now.
this game was huge
This
for
is our division."
It was bigger for Cincinnati than it was Cleveland, I'll say that.
Agreed.
This is the same thing that
I disagree.
goes wrong. This
But
is
I
the same
see what
thing
you're
that goes wrong with the Chiefs. So the Jets' loss was a fluke.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Doesn't
Now
everyone
this
stop?
loss is what?
The truth.
The Bengals are the Bengals.
The Bengals are who we
But
think
they're
they are.
still,
That's the
but they
thing.
still can beat.
Are they though?
But they can still beat
No.
the Steelers, and then
Because
we play this. It's just matchups,
Cleveland
man.
is
Matchups.
a playoff team. They were last year. They're probably going to be this year. And so this is that.
But now
like,
Chubb's gone, dude. Chubb's that's a game changer.
This is that
massive. Their
linear
entire
projection.
running back room.
To where you say, all right, we need to measure ourselves against this team in this division, and this is who we need to take out. And they just couldn't do it at this time.
But
again,
see, they thought it was the Ravens, and they took out the
we
Ravens.
got like 8 weeks left. Plenty of time. Plenty
Yeah.
of time. But this is that time where they get to see, hey, we're not as good as this playoff team at the moment. At the moment. Not saying that they're not going to be.
It's
because
all
that
matchups,
team
man. It's all matchups.
is on the rise.
The future is brightest in that division for Cincinnati of all the teams.
Absolutely.
Right.
But they're not
These
there
guys are
yet.
done.
But see, no, we're getting started. We just need a quarterback. But at the
You
same
just need the
time,
most important position in football.
do we?
That's
Yes,
what you just
do.
said.
Everybody does.
No, we just need a quarterback.
A good one.
We don't have.
No, you're right. You have TJ Watt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ask Justin Fields about him.
But at the same time, like, we could win on defense alone for a while.
That's
We're
what
doing
we
it right
thought.
now. We're doing it right now,
That's because you're playing the Bears.
dude.
What
the
offense do they have?
average,
The 32nd?
average pass for Ben right now is 7 yards. That's solid.
That's not bad.
Is it completed?
Every other one, I'm sure, or it's a couple. But at the end of the day, like I said, these divisional games, you can't lose to the Jets. That really hurts.
Yes.
Bengals stock. Cleveland.
No
We're
team
talking
can
about-
lose to the Jets and actually
Big
take
contenders?
themselves seriously. I disagree,
I don't.
but
I mean, although Tennessee,
It's
it's
matchups.
a giant stain.
It's matchups, man.
Going
At the end of the day,
Shout out to
I
the
thought it
Jets
was.
fans who's
I thought it was a real struggle.
ruining a couple of weeks out here for
Yeah,
everybody.
I thought it was
shout out to y'all.
I thought it was a big
JTS.
struggle with how the Bills Last week, played the Dolphins. Looking rough. But I was like, divisional game.
Florida's not great for them.
I was like, divisional game, And then you go and you play the Jaguars, and you lose to the Jaguars. That's horrible. Yeah. Yeah, he's out partying back in Ohio again. And it's okay now.
Okay.
It's okay now.
All right.
But, you look at this stuff, and just the way football's been going, college and pro, is so questionable. I hate that they just legalized gambling here because, I don't even know what I'm doing.
2 weeks ago, you said you love it.
I do love it, but I hate it because it's not doing me no good because I don't know who underdog, overdog, under, over. Bro, it don't make sense. It does not make sense.
I'll tell you what doesn't make sense is...
my sheets don't make sense, but when I check those teams down, I'm so confident that that's how it's supposed to go. Home, away. I put the temperature, the weather, the lifeline, the whole record of playing them here, there, everywhere. Bro,
but you're not putting in the Urban Meyer factor.
Bro, I didn't put in that Josh Allen was going to sack Josh Allen. I didn't do that.
You didn't say that he was going to intercept himself?
I didn't know. And then he fumbled his own fumble, but he got the ball and
he got it back.
It makes no sense, dude. And when I do these lineups and I look at these bets and I do these over-unders and then I let's say a Big 12 game, it's got to go over 38 points. No, it doesn't. Big 12 isn't even the Big 12 anymore because ACC is the Big 12. It just, none of this makes sense.
The Bills are the Bills and the Jaguars are the Jaguars, and it's 12 points.
I think it was 15 points. Yeah,
wow.
9-6. Solid. Waste of time, which I thought Chicago Steelers, I even called it in the podcast that didn't go out. It was going to be a solid 9-6 game.
Right, that's going to be like the
No, it wasn't.
10.
No, it's not. It's going to be
it wasn't.
29-26. 29-27. Just
a bunch of BS.
None of this makes sense, dude.
None of it also doesn't make sense. The Tennessee Titans without Derrick Henry beating the Los Angeles Rams.
Bro, because all of a sudden the Titans have a defense.
Wild.
What?
Where did this defense come from?
Don't make sense.
Such a bad defense last year.
Bro, they're the worst.
Still
if you look on Yahoo right now,
Are they? Last week?
The 31st ranked passing defense. And going against the number 1 ranked passing offense, number 1 scoring offense.
Should have never got rid of Deshaun Jackson. I'm just saying.
Stafford looked like he was playing for the Lions. That's how he played.
It was so bad.
In a playoff game.
It was rough.
Not good.
It had to be so he has an injury, and we were just talking about an injury that happened.
Not a Thanksgiving day.
We were talking about an injury, and he wasn't practicing, and maybe it's something more severe than we know, but
no.
Come on, man. And all I needed was Kupp to do another yard. And he couldn't do that for me. A touchdown, nothing. I don't know, man. I really don't. I really don't know what's going on. And
I never thought. Go ahead.
Just Henry losing Henry and then
winning.
Going in there, bringing AP.
Hey.
Got a touchdown.
What's going on, dude? What's going on?
Shout out to the haters. AP. Touchdown. Good move. This week, at least. Good move.
I hope he can continue that. I want to see AP do something.
Did you pick him up on fantasy?
I did.
That makes sense.
Hey, buckets. Was he on your bench, though?
Of course.
Of course.
I'm not going to put him in yet. Let's calm down.
Why wait? 6 reservations for 6.
I hope he can do something for them.
Well, if he can do it against
He's
the
got
Rams.
big shoes to fill. Let's see. Let's get a couple carries under his belt and everything like that.
Hey, big shout out to AP for actually still being in the league, for still being a workhorse, for still being there doing what
let's see if he's a workhorse. We don't know if he's a workhorse yet. Let's hope he's a workhorse.
I hope he is. Never mind. Let's move on. All right. Week 10. We're over the halfway point. These are where the teams, you're looking at the divisions. All right, hold on. Who's measuring up? Who's going to get that first round bye? Who's actually going to make sure that they're in the top 3 so they can face the 7-seed Falcons? I don't know. But they're there.
So crazy.
Hey, 500. Don't overlook them. They're 500. They beat half the teams they played. Don't overlook them.
Saints beat the Bucks and the Falcons beat the Saints. It makes sense.
Paper champs. You just follow. It's the lineage of it. All right, so let's go. Saints, Tennessee. Let me ask you, fellas, is Winston back yet?
No,
he's done for the season.
He's done for the whole season.
Yes.
So we got somebody and maybe.
So it's what Trevor Siemian and Taysom Hill, which doesn't scare me. That doesn't put fear in me. I mean,
it was enough to beat the Bucks.
You're absolutely right.
Super Bowl contenders.
That was without Taysom Hill.
Right.
That was straight Trevor Siemian.
I don't even think Ingram was there yet, right? Was he just maybe a couple plays or something? I don't know.
So he was available.
Again, that's a defense that you just got to not.
That should be able to stop Matt Ryan and his horrible offensive line.
Yes.
But now they just got to stop Tannehill. And Adrian Peterson.
And they have a good rush defense, so we'll see if they can get the run going. But Titans right now have one of the best O-lines in the game, especially running O-line. And we'll see how that goes. I believe I split this game, but if you wanted my honest opinion, if Simeon don't ball out and who do they have to pass the ball to? I think you got to go Titans here, especially Saints on the road not being at home. That's hard for them, I think, to go on the road and beat the Titans in Tennessee.
Josh. Do the whole panel here. Let's do it.
I gotta go Titans for sure.
Titans.
I was
really hoping you'd say Saints so I don't have to.
No, I'm not sold on them. Like, with Winston, I may have given more of a chance because I feel like that
I would have
offense
picked
is
them straight out.
A more high-powered offense with Winston.
Yep.
Trevor Siemian. I just don't think he's good. And then obviously Taysom Hill is not. He's a worse quarterback than Lamar Jackson.
I don't want to say Titans because the biggest offensive weapon that they have is Derrick Henry, and he's not in. And the biggest, Kamara.
Kamara. Yeah, you got Kamara. But Titans.
I feel like anybody can get
Brown.
it to Kamara.
AJ Brown, solid.
I'm trying here.
Julio's gonna be.
I like Kamara.
Cut it all out, man. I'm trying. I'm trying here.
I would almost still take the Saints.
Talk me into the Saints.
I would almost still take the Saints if they were home.
That defense is sick. Like, I will say that. Tannehill as not a game manager worries me as well, but he still looks good. The last week, like, Brown has looked incredible for him. Like, Tannehill had a way better game than I expected.
You're going to put Lattimore on him.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And then, zone out Julio.
You got to hope Julio can.
So now you're just playing their strong D line versus your strong O line.
I feel that AP can be AP of old.
I feel like right now the Saints, given their record, since they're actually vying for the first seed, I feel like they're trying to tread water, that they're going to try and hold on to what they have, and they're going to give it up to Tennessee, who is better equipped to take them down. So I'm going to go Tennessee as well. I'm going to go Titans also. Let's move on. We have Cleveland and New England. Hold on a minute.
In New England.
Hey, hold on.
So there was just reports. There was just reports that basically the entire running back room has tested positive for COVID.
For who?
For Cleveland.
Uh-huh.
But they are vaccinated, and they're saying all they need is 2 negatives within 24 hours.
Right.
Yep.
And they could be able to come back. It's
a long week till Sunday.
If they come back, I still like the Patriots.
Hey!
Still give me Patriots.
I'm not taking Patriots.
You're not taking the Patriots.
So, Cleveland, they run the ball.
This feels very Cleveland, Cincinnati to me right now.
They run the ball. They run the ball. So New England's going to try the hardest, stop the run, make Baker Mayfield beat them. Still think they're going to be able to run the ball.
Baker's still with that jacked up shoulder.
I still think they're going to be able to run the ball. Even if Johnson comes, so
with an unhealthy quarterback room, who do you have?
You running backs?
Without the running backs, without
it doesn't matter. They still have Johnson who balled out. I think the offensive line. I think Cleveland's offensive line, if they played like they did last week, they're still going to beat New England.
I think Bill's too much of a genius game planner to allow.
You know what's going to change his game plan?
Third string
Myles Garrett.
That does change everyone's game.
And Cleveland is also good at stopping the run. So Damian Harris, sorry, bud.
Mac Jones going to show you. Not all of them are busts.
I understand. And Myles Garrett will show you 3 sacks. It's just what's going to happen, bro. So I'm taking Cleveland. I actually doubled down on Cleveland. At New England at home. It's not the same New England, man. Doesn't matter if they're home, away, don't matter.
But they're looking like they're trying to get back to the same New England.
Next year, bud.
They're looking
2022.
better and better. They're looking better and better.
New England is indeed challenging for the AFC East crown.
Yeah, Buffalo's helping them out there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like bums against the Jacksons.
Exactly.
Bro, I will literally...
It's right there.
I will literally die if I see Patriots play the Bucks in the Super Bowl, and this man right here called that. It won't even make any sense to me.
I didn't call it.
I won't even
said
watch.
it'd be the most scripted ass.
Bro, I don't even know if
I've ever
I'll watch
seen in my
that.
life.
Like that'd be wild to me.
That would be.
Who doesn't want to see Belichick?
Are you talking about the MVP?
Come on.
I don't.
It'd be worthless. The MVP, Josh Allen, that everyone was hyping up, and you go and let the New England, all the times that the Patriots, all them years, and this is the. Come on, man. Come on, dude. You can't even allow that.
Is that a hate for the Patriots?
No, you just. This is the time. This is the time
just
where
take them out. You know what I mean?
you understand.
Hey, Steelers,
You
just take them out.
understand.
Let's get them out of here.
Oh, they don't want to see us.
Nobody does.
Yeah, they don't want to see us.
I'm really struck with this one because again, like I very much, as I said, I really feel like this is Cleveland, Cincinnati all over again. I feel like Cleveland's been there. I feel like Cincinnati was the team coming up. They have a little bit more to prove, and I just feel like Baker and those running backs, that defense, the Garretts, they've just been there. They know what it means. It's a little bit more important. At the same time, I don't see that same team from the Patriots because there is an established team there. There's a hierarchy. There's a coaching staff. There's guys who have been there, who have seen the offenses, who have built a defense, who brought all of that defense, spent all the money on the defense. And Mac Jones is looking like a starter in this league. I'm going to zag on this one, even though I feel like
Zigging.
even though I feel like zigging. In taking Cleveland, I am going to say the Patriots are going to win this one. I feel like they're going to surprise me, even though I could totally see this going the other way. I will not be upset if I'm wrong. But I very much feel like, again, it's a measuring stick game. It's like, are we actually challenging for the AFC East?
So, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Cleveland win. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
They're the better team.
They are the better team. I feel like through and through, they are the better team.
But again, I've said it before. I'll continue to say this. Baker just scares me.
Yeah, he's not
although
very good.
Baker without OBJ for some odd reason,
do you want Lamar?
is better.
Do you want Lamar? Or do you want Baker?
Give me Lamar.
Okay.
And
no, definitely.
That
give me
tells
Lamar.
you everything you need to know.
Definitely give me Lamar.
Yeah.
if you know,
if you know this guy, it tells you everything you need to know.
What? I have a question. Fellas, fill me out on this one and let me know where you feel. So, you're a Steelers fan, right?
Through and through.
Did I get that right?
Close.
I don't know
Okay,
if you've
all right,
heard,
for
but
a minute. Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard, but he's a Steelers fan.
Yep.
I
I don't know if you heard, AFC North is through 9 weeks, 10 weeks.
No, come back.
They're a 500 team. All the teams in the AFC North are
along
500
with the
teams.
AFC West.
AFC West?
Yes.
Who's in the AFC West, Josh?
That was with the Raiders, the Chargers, the Broncos, and
Yeah,
the
that's
Chiefs.
that's all of them, right?
Like they're all 500 or above.
Where's the Bears at?
All right. All right. All right. We're right there with the Vikings. Like I said, we always would be. All right. Let's come on back to OBJ. But first, we got to talk about your guy, Antonio Brown. What do you think of him?
Solid. I would take him back on my team.
You take him back? Josh, how do you feel about
I hate
Antonio
him.
Brown? You hate him. Why?
He's an absolute piece of trash. He's
Trash.
a clown,
He's a clown
and he should be out of the NFL.
out of the NFL.
Yes.
How do you feel about OBJ?
OBJ, I'm going to say it right here.
Yeah, speechless.
OBJ
Speechless.
is
Josh.
the most overrated player off of one catch.
Uh-huh.
He had this phenomenal
A couple.
that one-handed catch that he had put him on the map, and his numbers have progressively gotten worse every year.
So, only thing is, OBJ.
I love you guys. Thank you.
Listen. OBJ,
Let's hear it.
he was hurt for like his first 4 or 5 weeks, and he would have had a
He's usually
career.
hurt.
Yeah, but I'm talking about his rookie season. He was on a pace like Jamar Chase is right now. How like he would have had a crazy rookie year, but I think he missed like the first 4 or 5 weeks. He's had some numbers, man.
In the beginning, he had numbers.
He's legit,
and he's progressively
I want to say what I said before.
Bad quarterbacks or whatever you want to say.
Randy Moss said it best yesterday. Is when people are like, "Oh, this is where this last team is where he's gonna his season's gonna die." And Randy Moss said that's what they kept saying and then I went to New England and had my best year ever.
That's what they kept saying about the second greatest receiver of all time.
Who's the second greatest receiver of all time?
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss? Arguable, but okay.
A Raiders fan saying that?
Yeah, and I hate
Maybe
Randy Moss too.
maybe there's some truth in there.
Screws
Hold on
that
a
guy
minute.
too,
Hold on.
that piece of trash. You don't want to claim the Raider Nation? F him, but that's arguable.
We'll argue that another time.
Different day,
that's-
different. But
Different day, different podcast. But I
he
like
still has a chance. He still has talent. He still has speed. He still has hands. If you give him
In the right situation, like where there's
Yeah.
rumors, the right
Yeah.
situation, he could be a baller.
Detroit.
That's the big one. The rumor is Green Bay. If he goes to Green Bay and plays Aaron Rodgers,
there's enough balls to go around for sure. Aaron
I
Rodgers will
don't-
get him the ball and Adams the ball.
I don't like him going to the Seahawks.
No. Lockett, Metcalf.
Right. I think that's
And
gonna
Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, he has his own.
That fool loves to run.
Big one.
Yeah.
Like
Big one.
that's going to
Thank you.
destroy things. Pete Carroll doesn't know how to let Russ cook.
Metcalf it.
I brought it up before.
No.
He said he wants to go contender. Like we just said, you said you would take Lamar Jackson. Why doesn't he want to go to Ravens?
That's a good question. Ravens aren't even being brought up.
Offense. The same style of offense. Nah.
They're a run-first offense with the running back.
Thank you.
But is that because they don't have a receiver and they could use an OBJ-type receiver that
And
can...
Lamar's been balling this year with the arm.
Absolutely. I mean, he's top 10. He's top 10
He's got
passing.
an arm this year.
He's looked incredible, but he's throwing to people that no one's ever really heard of. Why wouldn't if you're OBJ, why would you not want to go to Baltimore? To play with an MVP quarterback, to be the number one, right? You instantly, OBJ goes to that team, he is the number one wideout, no questions.
Wide
But yet,
receiver one.
he's not saying them. It's, the talk is what, Seattle, you have Green Bay, I've heard the Chiefs, I've heard Patriots.
Why not the Patriots?
But the main team right now that they're talking about, the main two, seems to be Seattle and Green Bay.
So
Seattle
let
doesn't
me-
make sense to me.
Let me come back to what I was saying about Antonio Brown. I feel like, and please, I want your input because this is an open-ended question. I feel like Antonio Brown, being, as y'all discussed, the type of person that he is, Tom Brady said, "You're
That's
living
exactly-
with me.
You need a
You're
strong,
going nowhere other than my house, and we're going to play this football game."
You need a strong-willed quarterback that will take him and keep him quiet and say,
Is that
"Listen,
Aaron Rodgers right now?
that's the
Ha ha.
I think he needs to go with Derek Carr.
And then
bring him on over."
Yeah.
and then you will catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl because of your. What is he? 29?
Yeah, he's not very old.
Like,
Maybe
good
30.
Lord, the guy's not even 30 yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this right. You're gonna do it my way. You're gonna be with me every second of the day. You're gonna sleep in my house. I'm gonna throw you a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. We're gonna win a Super Bowl together. I feel like there's a lot of teams right now, as the ones that you named, that are like, what if we can do that with OBJ? We have this talented guy. This isn't Madden, though. It's not like you're going to get like this 99 special catch ability with this guy, because when you play a video game, you get everything that guy can literally offer
Without the
without the buy-in.
right.
Without the, I believe, like, right now, if I play Madden, I can throw him on Detroit, me and Jared Goff. We're going to lead the league in touchdowns. Me and OBJ are going to get 25. We're going to set records because he's bought in, because he's going to do what he needs to do. Jared Goff is going to be like 70% accurate on.
There's no
Look what Jerry
deep
Jones.
bombs.
Look what Jerry Jones
It's not
did to
gonna
Des
happen.
Bryant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about the off field with OBJ, how big it is. This man just, I want to say he got caught in that New York lifestyle, that
Sure.
media
How can you not?
lifestyle, and
A wide
He wants
receiver.
that. A wide receiver at
A
that too.
highly talented wide receiver. How
And-
can you not?
and-
He's a diva and he wants the ball.
Yeah.
of
So
course.
we'll see where it goes. I mean, he didn't
feel-
get claimed like he wanted to get claimed. Someone's gonna pick him up.
I feel
It is
like
what it is.
OBJ is going to market correct the ridiculous thing that Antonio Brown actually did, which was give up his lifestyle, which was put all in for the team. I feel like Antonio Brown started to correct the market on the OBJs,
But I
and
think-
like, if we do this, it can happen. But
I think there's a
feel
bigger
like
scale to it.
OBJ can
Bro,
do that.
You literally just lost.
Unless
You went to your
Rodgers,
team, dude. You went to
Brady,
your team with your brother on there.
Manning.
Jarvis Landry is his best friend. His
you
brother.
wanted to play with your
You live by him.
your LSU homeboy, but I think again he went to a bad offense for his style of play.
He certainly did.
That is a very much run first team.
He's played in one playoff game.
Now,
granted, it was for New York.
he had Eli, and
They
then
didn't have anybody in New York.
like once you
But
lose
now you're on
Eli
the
as your
Browns. The Browns are a
quarterback,
contender.
and Eli even at the end of it, Eli during his little prime run when he was doing his Super Bowl runs,
Eli was always one of those hit or miss. He'd have a hot game, cold game,
and that's
they
why I
always
think
like to
OBJ's
run
had
team.
his entire career.
Yeah.
Defense, they got it.
Yeah,
His entire career, he's had that kind of quarterback. He's never had a true, legit.
but
quarterback.
I just think it's different. Like both once you're a high caliber, it don't matter. We could go down the list. Any high caliber, they want to be talked about. They want the ball. They want this. They want that.
Because they feel like they can win. They can contribute to a
I mean,
win.
if you don't
Even when they're not open, they're open.
look at
That's
Michael
the
Thomas.
mentality of a wide
Look at
receiver.
Michael Thomas. He was
Always.
complaining about Drew Brees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now look at you, bro. Now look at you. Look at Devontae Adams.
I'm glad
Very
you said
quieted
that.
person. Very. If Aaron Rodgers is gone, I'm wrong. Is he gone because Aaron Rodgers is gone the way you treated Aaron Rodgers? No, he's not dumb. He's seen practice. Now we know if Love is here and this is me and this is what I get after Aaron Rodgers, I'm gone
That's a
too.
huge step down.
Yeah. Now I'm not doing what I'm doing. I'm not performing bonuses, money, this, that, and the other.
even if I'm open,
Commercials,
he can't get it to me.
commercials, whatever. And I think some of it. We'll talk about commercials. I think some of it's jealousy too. Baker Mayfield out here doing all these commercials, and he's like,
Yeah.
he can't even throw me the ball. It's
And
a
when
wide
he's
out
not
being a
out there,
wide
they
out.
win.
It's a wide out being a wide out. It's basically a modern Keyshawn Johnson, Chad
I don't think-
Ochocinco.
I don't think he has
I
quite
agree with
the.
Ochocinco. I
He doesn't
agree
quite
with
have the off the field stuff that
Antonio Brown
Antonio
was.
Brown
I
had.
completely
No,
agree.
but he still
But he's
had
still
some
a
off
diva.
the field.
Yes,
He still had some off the field stuff.
He's
I mean,
still
we can't
very
forget.
much a diva.
Pictures
and-
don't lie.
and,
Yeah.
and wants the ball, which I don't blame him
Yeah.
for.
Not at all.
But see, I
Not at
thought if
all.
anyone could tighten him up, it'd be Jarvis Landry, and it didn't happen. And he just wants a quarterback. He wants to be thrown to. He knows
the
his
offense
years.
that they run. It's
He
heavy
put in a
running
lot of
back.
work,
It's
but-
running back heavy.
He put in a lot of work to get healthy.
True.
Can't knock that. Can't
Nope.
knock that.
Nope.
He wants to be used. He wants to be
Right.
He wants his work to show out, and we'll see where it gets him. Now, another question off that: whatever team he goes to, does he make it a better team?
I can't say whatever team. There has to be a.
What team would make him? What team would he make better?
No, whatever team, any team that would pick him up,
No,
would
that's
they
what I'm
be?
saying.
Would they be just that much better if they picked Odell up
Which
right now?
team would be?
I say,
any team.
To answer your question, Devin, yes.
Any team. Doesn't matter what team.
He is a great receiver.
Would they give more of a chance to the Lions to actually win a game? I would say so.
Yes.
I would say with the Lions, yes.
He's an increased talent over what you have at receiver.
I would say with Green Bay, yes.
the Bears.
No.
What do you mean?
Have you seen our offense? We don't have time to throw it.
Maybe if you had Mooney, Robinson, and Odell out there running
Okay,
routes.
Hold on. Because a lot of why we can't throw it is because our wide receivers can't get separation. But then again, it's like, do we want to add someone who's going to command a certain amount of
Matt
attention?
Nagy would almost thrill off of that.
Matt
like-
Nagy would almost get fired anyway.
Right. Now you have trade bait for next year.
I just rather not have to.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe I just
Yeah.
rather not have to deal with it. I feel like I'm 28 of the teams out there. I just rather not have to deal with it.
I think if he goes to a bottom
That's
team,
the Rams.
it's not going to help.
The Buccaneers, Green Bay's, Seattle's. Where's the
Arizona.
incentive to actually deal with it? Where's the incentive?
Deal
He'll
with
make
what?
me better to
If you
like
could- if-
to lose a spot on my draft selection.
If
Like
you
I
throw him
want
the ball
that?
5 times, throw the ball 5 times to Odell, and maybe he makes a play for you.
Yeah, solid. Now I'm what, like
Bro,
5-12? Super
Baker
cool.
Mayfield is averaging 14 passes a game.
Right, so
Give me a quarterback that averages 25. That's all I want.
no, that's all he wants.
That's what I'm saying.
But does he make them better?
Go to a playoff contender on a, I want to say pass first, but more passing team.
Yeah,
and he'll be happy.
A more passing-oriented team.
He will make that team better.
Lose Derrick Henry, pick up Odell. Now you have Julio Jones, Odell, and A.J. Brown.
I don't think you'd be happy there.
Just saying. I don't know. You know what I mean?
There's only so many footballs.
The
I'm
same
not gonna run the ball no more.
Same problem with the Seahawks. The same problem I would have with that type.
Right.
of
Me
team.
too. But I'm just saying.
That's where it makes sense to me is because if Russell Wilson comes back, he can extend plays where I feel like OBJ can then use his legs to go.
But it's not Russell Wilson's playbook. It's Pete Carroll's. Pete Carroll's like, I'm going to run the ball 25 times. That's what I do.
All right. We got to move on. Obviously, we, you, us, can all talk about this, and we'll wait and find out where he goes, and then we'll talk about it.
He might not go anywhere.
He damn sure might not. He might be Jacksonville, and it's like, hey, great. All right, we won one more game than what we wouldn't have. But is that good? Does it keep Urban Meyer from getting fired? Who knows? Maybe he saves his job. Maybe they lose a draft pick. Who knows? Maybe they drop down 5 selections because they won that extra game. Maybe OBJ leaves after that anyways. Who the hell knows? Real quick, Kansas City, Las Vegas Raiders. Let's go. Josh.
This is a big test for both teams to see
It's
where they're
a great time.
What do you mean big test?
Great
This
time.
is going to decide who is real right now. Again, we keep talking about Kansas City, and are they the real thing?
No, we're past that.
I don't think so.
Patrick Mahomes is on the bench. In fantasy.
He's still starting for me.
Not a smart play.
I couldn't imagine a world where having Mahomes and Hill would be bad for me.
It's horrible. Worst.
What?
The whole entire Kansas City offense.
How am I in this position right now?
It's crazy.
Don't make sense.
But this game is huge for the AFC West. We talked about every team right now has 5 wins in the AFC West. It's a log jam. Kansas City has 5 wins and they have a chance to be first place in the AFC West.
I do think this answers a lot of questions.
You should have never allowed that to happen.
I agree.
Answer it all right now. Beat KC. This is your time. Y'all beat them last year when you shouldn't have beat them.
This is the game that I think turns the tide for one of these two teams.
Wait, because they got to play you again, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
This is Sunday night. This is in Vegas.
2 times. Let's go.
This is the game that you have to win.
No, y'all should get 2.
I understand that.
Won't happen, but you got to get this one.
In order to get 2, you got to get 1 first.
Yep.
You got to win this game. This is a huge game coming off of a
played
bad loss.
We definitely beat you.
No way.
Yeah, definitely. Go on.
They're coming off a bad loss. KC's coming off of a I don't know if there's a thing as a bad win, but an ugly win, we'll say.
Ugly win.
There's
barely beat.
I don't know.
I would say that's a good
I don't
win.
know. I don't
It
know.
is a win.
I don't know if any win right now is an ugly win or loss. Like I would say
Doesn't matter, right?
ugliest losses this year so far.
No, there's ugly losses.
So far would be Dolphins getting just mollywopped 35-0 by the Bills, and then out of nowhere Philadelphia just mopping the floor with the Lions 44-6.
And the Jacks beating the Bills.
Those are huge losses. No, I'm talking about
horrid.
Just whopped in a professional football game. 9-6. 9-6. This happens.
I would throw this past week Denver's game.
Boom!
That score doesn't look. I know they scored 16
Right.
points, but those were 16 extreme garbage time points.
Right.
That did not matter at all.
They were never in the game. They were never in the game. Yeah.
So that was another one that I would say that's for a Dallas team that was the number 1 in the NFC power rankings. Everything
Second most scoring.
Dallas
Dak
was
Prescott's the man.
Super Bowl again.
Yeah,
and then they came out and did that.
But then
now
Dallas
I'm not saying that they're not bad. They're not
Yeah.
a bad team. They're still good.
I mean,
but
I don't know.
Like that brings down the hype quite a bit.
You know who beat Denver? Steelers. I don't know. But we're bad. You know what I mean? We're not a playoff team. You know what I mean? It just, like I said, football just don't make sense right now. We try to put our opinions, what we see on the field, and then whatever we say, the very next week, the total opposite happens.
Yes.
So I'm trying to say what I don't believe, and it's still hard for me because when I say things, I'm just like, this is the way it should go.
Right. And it's not
And
happening.
New England's probably going to win. And Jacksonville will probably beat Buffalo again. And, the Tennessees will probably lose to the Saints, even though the Saints are on the road and they don't have a quarterback or a wideout. I don't know. The Titans lost to the Jets. The Bengals lost to the... It don't make sense.
Insanity.
It makes us all human is what it does.
Listen, I'm in a whole new metaverse universe timeline. It all started with Marvel, and here we are. Here we are, man.
Documentary of our time that is Marvel.
Yep.
We're just learning about it.
You guys understand me. I'm just trying to understand the football, man, right now. College, NFL, it's wild out there, man. It's really wild out there, and I'm pretty sure I split KC and Vegas, and this game alone is basically where the football season is right now. A divisional game, two teams play down to their opponents, play up to their opponents, no points, supposed to put up a bunch of points. I don't really know, man. That's why we're going to split them. If I was going to go on one, I say the Chiefs are going to beat the Raiders. Do I have confidence in that? Would I put money on that? No, none. $0.
But you might.
Nope.
Tori, who you got?
I'm going to say Raiders. Even though I would have gone Kansas City, and not that this isn't the chance that Kansas City starts to turn the corner. And again, 7 weeks left.
Yeah.
Right? 7 games.
They can still make the playoffs. That's
Easily.
What's freaking nuts.
Easily. And so this might be what I would have said. Let me backtrack. If they would have played and beat Aaron Rodgers, which I feel like Aaron Rodgers would have beat that Kansas City Chiefs by 2 touchdowns.
With the way they barely beat Love, I'm agreeing 100%.
Right. If Kansas City would have beat Aaron Rodgers' Green Bay Packers, I would have went Raiders 100%.
We might have had another 30-minute episode of just the Chiefs again.
And I would have set them on fire.
It wouldn't happen. Wouldn't happen.
But since they barely got past Jordan Love, I got to go with the Raiders. I got to go with them. And I believe in the Raiders team, and I believe that through and through, offensive line, defensive line, secondary, quarterback, defense, hell, offense, which I haven't seen much of Kansas City, that's what they are built to do. I don't know what's going on with Mahomes. I feel like he's throwing like a lot of jump balls, like a lot of one-on-ones. I don't want to say Ted Lasso. I don't want to say the Y word. YIPS. I don't want to say it. But we just might be there because I don't want to double down and say these defenses
have figured out Mahomes.
Over one offseason have figured out Mahomes, because I don't think that's true. But
I don't think so either. But
I don't think he has as many wide receivers running wide open either, that was the deal. It was Kelsey's always open. Hill's always open. This guy's always open. And Mahomes hits him 40 yards down the field.
They're playing Mahomes the same way they're playing Josh Allen right now.
But they're making him human. You're not hearing none of the completed passes that he had before.
Right, it's not the
crossbody, the long ball. He's literally missing. Hill's getting open now as much. No.
Well, the offensive line,
but he's still getting open. That long ball,
it's still 10 yards over, which is like ridiculous that you have a cannon like that with his speed.
Right, and don't get me wrong, pressure up the middle, pressure on a quarterback is always going to change the game. The O-line always. But over and over and over again, no, this was a team that was putting up 40 points.
Right.
Now you're putting up 7.
10, 13.
You're getting me 7 and 12 and 11 points on fantasy football. It's unacceptable. You're on the bench. You're on the bench, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. You're getting benched for Cousins and Matt Ryan. How do you feel?
If they would have beat Aaron Rodgers' Green Bay Packers, I would have said, all right, they're back. They shook it off. Mahomes got to figure it out.
I would have been right there with you. I would have had
turn to the corner,
little confidence.
Whatever
the Packers beat the Cardinals.
You want to make.
The Packers beat the Cardinals and then the Chiefs beat the Green Bay. They're like the number 1
and
team
Colt
again.
McCoy's back again. Let's just go back and, for a minute, let's just look at last week. Colt McCoy's back. All right.
Can we just real quick?
I'm going to go with the Raiders. I wouldn't be shocked if Kansas City turns the corner right now.
This is their playoff run.
This is where it happens.
I wouldn't be surprised either. But
this is where it happens. But I'm going to go with the Raiders because I believe what I see in the Raiders right now. What were we going to say, Josh?
I want to change gears here real quick because we talked about Colt McCoy.
Oh, let's talk about him.
I want to talk about the
Colt,
Cardinals.
My boy.
I want to talk about the Cardinals real quick. And
Colt, my boy.
They played surprisingly well.
Very well.
With no D-Hop.
Yep.
No Murray.
No Watt.
No, the Edmonds goes out
first quarter
early in the game.
Yep, had him on fantasy.
You got the Texas
And they
gunslinger back there.
They still looked good. Now, again, it's the 49ers that we already talked about that we're not sold on. We don't know what's going on with them. They look like a bad team right now.
You know who looked really good? Connors.
Connor looked incredible for them.
Ate that up like just looked great.
Bro, Terminator was just lighting it up.
3 touchdowns.
I think I'm finally getting to the point because I have been
This is
saying
what Green Bay should have done with Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I've been saying this the whole time. I'm not sold on the Cardinals yet. I'm still not. I'm taking the
Starting
turn.
to believe. Starting to believe.
I can't help but believe. Now, I'm not believing that they're the best contender, or the best chance for the Super Bowl that came out. Mr. Stumper posted this in our Facebook group, Shirts and Skins Podcast, that they're the number one odds of winning the Super Bowl at 20%.
Oh, dude, come on.
Well, I mean, he didn't make those odds.
I know he didn't. He posted. I'm saying he posted it.
It was cherry-picked odds, but it was odds nonetheless.
It was based out of Arizona.
I mean, I can't say that I think they're the best odds to win the Super Bowl,
right.
But they're definitely selling me that they have a great shot.
Playoffs.
I mean,
given Sunday.
What percentage would you put them at? You know, I would say 22% is pretty high. Pretty high. Out of all the teams, that's pretty high. Especially a team that just lost to Green Bay.
And not unrealistic.
I have teams that I would put over them still.
Certainly.
Even after a bad...
Even in the NFC.
Right.
You still got Green Bay, who just beat you. Buccaneers, still going to have to see them.
Super Bowl champs.
And Rams, that you're going to have to see again. Mm-hmm. And then you might have to see again in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So, those 3 teams, that's tough.
Yeah.
And then you go to the AFC. You're going to have Ravens, Cleveland, run the ball, whatever. You don't have Watt. You've showed that you can't stop the run. Do that against the Ravens. Do that against the Titans. Do that against the Titans with their line, no matter if it's AP, McNichols, whomever. Who knows?
Titans?
What are you saying?
If Henry's back, you got a point.
And they're holding on hope. They said that there's a small chance.
Yeah, they're talking about only 8 weeks.
That Derrick Henry could be back for playoffs.
22%? 8%?
Yeah.
3.5%?
Yeah.
Where are we at with that? I'm going to need the odds makers in Arizona to let me know where
Titans need that first round bye. Titans need that first round bye, and who knows?
Now we'd be at
They need that sorely. If they can get Henry back, that'd be nasty. But again, Cardinals, I am taking that turn now. I am starting to be okay. They're
building something over there.
They got.
Are y'all sold on Kingsbury?
I like his swag.
I don't know. There was a lot of quiet in there. And that's what stops me from getting there.
I like his swag. There's something missing. In his all around. I don't know if it's a coach. I don't know if it's a special teams. I don't know what it is. He's missing something. Though. It's something he's missing. He has that college grind offense. I like it. I don't know if it's Murray. I don't know if it's him. There's something that
it's the new age NFL offense, though. That's the way they're going. All offenses are going towards this.
Their secondary seems to be okay. They got Chandler Jones. They try to get Watt. I don't know.
Where I'm at is whenever I talk to a Cardinals fan, they believe in the team, but they don't believe in Kingsbury. And that's that gap right there.
Right. No, they haven't earned the franchise's respect yet.
From jumping over to believe that they're a true contender.
What have you done for me yet? The Super Bowl. What have you done for me yet? He's still young. Don't give up on him. That's what a lot of these teams do. They give up on their coaches. They change these coaches, change out, in and out these coaches. Let this man do his thing. And he's doing his thing. Like I said, he may be a piece or two away from...
They're progressing, and they're going for it.
And they could be there. And they could be there this year. They could be there this year.
They're getting the names. Offense, defense, they're getting the names. I like what they're doing. I like what the franchise is doing.
They're heading in the right direction.
No doubt.
Another young team that looks like a bright future as long as they can kind of keep them together and don't do a
the Rams are selling it all out.
Rams are winning now.
Now, next year, that's it. And
they're a definite win right now team.
Another pod.
Sounds good.
Another pod. Contracts, quarterbacks, big money, another pod. All right, fellas, any last words before we sign out of this one? Because we have it recorded, we have the audio, and it's coming to you this week. What do you got, Devin? Send us off.
I'm looking forward to the start of college basketball tonight. We'll see where that leads us. Football's going. We're seeing where basketball's going. We got some pre-contender series things that we're seeing in basketball. It's still a little too early. It's still a little too early.
We had a little bit of Caleb Plant actually making a name for himself, standing in the ring there with Canelo. That was a hell of a fight.
We all seen how it was going to go.
Made himself a hell of a name.
Got knocked out. Yeah, got knocked out. Yeah, he got respect, but Canelo's just on a different level. But for the sports world, boxing, you have a couple more matches, but football's still king right now. Steelers were playing the Lions. I hope we don't give the Lions their first win.
I hope.
That's
y'all do give them that first win. I really do.
I want to see how the playoff pool and the BCS and these playoffs.
Detroit do what our division couldn't do.
I want to see how that goes.
One from these
any given Saturday, any given Sunday, any given Thursday, and it's shaping up to be something special, man. It's been a crazy year.
It really is. I'm going to jump in this one because I want Josh to send us off. I'm going to just say, go Dogs. Let's beat those Volunteers. Go Miami Heat. We're running it right now. We're doing great. We're looking great. Our team's together. And, yo, chick, we're coming for you. Hey, we're coming for you.
You don't want none of the Jokic.
You almost got a locker room brawl for what you
don't want none of the
there.
Jokic brothers. I don't know.
Soft week era, Mike. Yeah. We almost met y'all in that locker room. Security had to stop us. Anyway, Josh, what you got for us?
I want to see this. Unfortunately, it hasn't released yet. It hasn't dropped yet. I'm curious to see this playoffs.
Rankings.
Let's see where this goes. Please leave Ohio State out. Come on, Purdue, take these fools down.
You want Ohio State in there because you can.
They're going to be in the top 4.
Beat them, Josh.
They're going to be in the top 4, but I still want them to lose every game.
That's when you want. That's when you want to beat them.
I don't care when.
That's when you want to beat them
all the time, every time.
I agree.
Even if it helps you. Even if it helps you.
Screw them, no matter what. But let's just go. Raiders, come on, get this together.
KC,
let's get this. Beat these sorry bums. KC,
keep them out.
Michigan. Let's get this together. Let's beat these sorry bums. Penn State. Let's go. Shirts and skins.
Shirts and skins.
Shirts and skins. We're going to catch you next time. Thank y'all for joining us. Catch you next time.